here we have a rational function or graph of a rational function. We want to write down the equation. So a couple key things we want to look at. First, where are vertical asymptotes? Well, we have one at -5 and we have one at x equals 1. So think about where do vertical asymptotes come from. They're the place where the denominator equals 0. So now I know for a fact that if I'm trying to write down my function, it must have this factor and x minus 1 and this factor in the denominator, because if these two places are supposed to be where the denominator equals 0. So that gives you some factors on the bottom. Alright, then the top, let's look at, that's our x-intercepts. So places where the whole function equals 0 is places where you have 0 divided by something, right? 0 can be on the top, you just can't divide by 0 on the bottom, which is where vertical asymptotes come from. So it looks like we have at -4 and at 5 are places where the numerator would equal 0, and so that means x plus 4 and x minus 5 have to be factors of the top. Alright, then we'll look and see if our degree is matching up. See how we have a vertical asymptote here at 2? Or sorry, a horizontal one here at 2. So how do I get horizontal asymptotes? Well, they only happen when your degree of the top and bottom are the same. See how right now we have 2 factors on the top and 2 on the bottom? So the degree looks like it's the same. So where does it come from? Well, it's my top leading coefficient divided by my bottom one. So if I FOIL this out, this one would say x squared, or 1x squared is the leading term. To get this to be at 2, I would need this one to say 2x squared. So sometimes you can get that front number from that. Another thing is, notice if they tell you another point on the graph, like -3, 2, we can check and make sure that if we plug -3 in for x, that we actually get 2 out for y. Or if you didn't know what this front number was, that's actually another way to figure out this front number, if there is one, or it could be 1. So we already know it's 2 because of the horizontal asymptote, but it's another way to find out what a possible leading coefficient would be here. So since we think it's already 2, I'm going to fill that in, and then we'll still just check and see if it works. Alright, if I make x -3, -3 plus 4 is 1, -3 minus 5 is -8, and then on the bottom, -3 and 5 gives me 2 times -4. So this says -16 over -8, which is 2. So it looks like when we plug in -3, we get out 2. So that also works for that point. So the biggest thing is finding those zeros and vertical asymptotes.